So traders, today I want to walk through mainly gold and just silver itself. Also, I'll be touching on one of the mining indices as well too that I'm really excited about, that I think is going to see a hockey stick over the next few years, but I'll get into that. But I want to share with you what I'm seeing right now. I see a lot of people still freaking out about what's going on with gold right now, and the way that you need to approach gold, the way you need to think about gold when you're getting involved with gold. And is a game over for gold right now? Let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video, because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, before I do start, yesterday was my birthday. So thank you so much for everyone that actually messaged me for my birthday. I really, really appreciate it. And a bit of a thank you gift for everyone that actually said happy birthday. I'm running a 90% off sale to my coaching program. I've never done this before, but I thought, you know what? I want to give back and I want to help you. So if you ever need my help, the coaching program starts right now and ends at the end of this year. You get my weekly coach. You get coaching from me every single week and every single day on the private Facebook group. You get my #1 trading strategy. You get to ask me questions directly and so much more. Anyway, the link in description, if you're interested in that, all the details are on that page. It's only for today only. Anyway, 90% off, guys. Anyway, let's get straight into gold. Now, let's have a look at this here. The one thing that I really been stressing and I've been really talking about lately when it comes to gold, a lot of people have been freaking out about gold. And please, guys, this is one thing that's really important to think about with gold. Firstly, I want to give you a bit of a guidance. Some things that I've always made a mistake when it comes to gold. And hopefully those mistakes can also help you out as well too. Okay, so many years or so often, I would actually get into a trade. And how many of you have done this? You get into a trade, any trade, you get out for a small profit, and then 2 months later you see, oh my goodness, that thing was at 100% profit or 200% profit, or even 1,000% profit, right? If you bought, if you bought options or whatever. So the whole thing about that, right, is that if we are approaching the markets like a short-term in and out trader, then I think that's the wrong, especially right now when it comes to gold. Like I've been doing gold and videos, gold and videos over gold and silver. But the whole thing that I see when it comes to gold and silver is that we're continuing being in this very choppy environment right now, and silver is continuing to chop a lot of people out and getting a lot of people out of this market. So the whole thing about the way that it's important to invest when you're looking at gold, always look at gold as a long-term investment, and what's happening now, and what may even continue for another few months, maybe for the rest of this year. I don't know. But the way that you need to be looking at gold is not trying to time it properly, because I'm actually in gold myself, but I'm very confident come 2025. And that's the way you need to have a long-term view with this. And so these up and down movements we've been getting, it shouldn't freak you out. If you are, you're trying to approach gold the wrong way. Okay, so you're trying to short-term trade it. And if you're short-term trading, then on the short-term trading part, you need to have some sort of a pattern that you're going to trade it with. But in investing in gold right now, this is the gold chart, a bit of a double bottom. We're probably going to flush down. I'm going to tell you where we're probably likely to get down to. I always thought over the last few months, I thought, oh, we're probably going to get ready now. And every time it's actually faked it out, and it hasn't continued up. So moving forward into gold, my position has always been a long-term buy and hold. And because I see inflation continuing to rise, not only I see an economic boom. By the way, I see an economic boom coming towards the end of this year. We know the whole cough situation is going to relax by the end of this year. People are going to start to go out and start to do their normal thing again. Economic growth is going to start to pick up massively again, and we're going to start to see things rise. And especially with all that currency in the system right now, all this pumped up demand, currency in the system that is flooded, guess what's going to happen? People are going to go nuts. Guess what that means? Inflation, right? Guess what that also means? Velocity of money going to start to pick up, which just simply means more people are going to start to spend more money. Keep it simple here. So if we're looking at gold right now, we're seeing, okay, that's what's happening with gold here. But to me, I'm continuing to get more and more and more excited the longer this happens with gold. See, a lot of people say, is gold in a bull market right now? Is gold still in a bull market? And the easiest way to do that is look at your weekly charts. If you're confused, never fear, the weekly charts are here. And it's so true. And look at the last sort of maybe 2 years. And all you want to do is apply some simple trend analysis on the daily charts. You can get a lot of up and down swings. But if you're confused about what's really going on with gold, are we still in a big bull market? See, a lot of people get confused about this pullback we've seen for the last 6 months and say, no, we're not in a big bull market. Now, maybe on the daily charts, but remember, when in doubt, jump into the weekly charts. Or never fear, the weekly charts are here. So for me personally, whenever I'm trying to see where's the big macro trend on this thing, because if you want to jump on big macro trends, guess what? You want to be jumping on the big trends, right? The short-term trends of the daily charts. So if we have a look at trend analysis and we have a look at just simple trend analysis, let's actually bring it back to very, very, very simple analysis. What is an upward trend? Market makes up. Higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. So that's an upward trend. So if this is an upward trend, as long as we keep making higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, the buyers are doing what? They're continuing to raise their prices. So let's go, again, on the daily chart, you're going to get a lot of up and down, a lot of volatility. But whenever you're confused about where's the overall trend, just look at the weekly chart of that stock or that indice and just say, okay, then apply this simple analysis. And that'll take all the confusion out of the charts for you. And it's so interesting because I was talking to some of my private clients recently on a weekly coaching session that I do every single week for them. And I was talking to them about how just some simple analysis like what I just shared with you just then, and that it can just completely take the confusion out. It's like, okay, cool, this is what's going on, right? Because how does the market work? We go for a run, and then we have these pullbacks, and we have a pullback, and then we have a pullback, right? So if that's what happens, as long as we're continuing to make these high lows, we're still in an upward trend. So if we look at gold right now, what is this here? Low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Oh, what's that? Oh, double bottom, right? So it didn't make a higher low. It didn't make a high low, did it? No. But it made a double bottom. It didn't actually break the low. That was the most important part. What happened? It held it strong, had a big move up, made a what? Higher high, and now we're pulling back. So if we're looking at this from a really simple, logical point of view, if we see that this here was the last low point, or sort of last low point, and this was the last low, so this was an equal low from here to here. Right now, gold is still in a very big upward trend, right? Because we're still overall having these big swings. So right now, gold is doing what? Gold is in one of these periods right here. And that's where I say to people that I'm getting very excited, because even though we may get a bit of a pullback like this here, there's a massive probability that this overall big bull trend, which I'm going to bring up some trend lines in a minute, as you just saw there, I just sort of did a wobbly trend line. Guess what? It's probably going to then pick up and continue just like we did back here. And you can see that back here, this is when people started getting the same sort of thing right now, right? But gold is doing a lot more of a pullback than we did here. So you can see from this point here to this point here, we had what? 4 months pullback. We had, what's that? A 4 month pullback. Right now, what are we getting? We're getting, what's that there? 6-7 months. This is very, very, very exciting. So if I bring up some trend lines, very, very just simple, basic trend lines, and let's actually just remove this trend line here. Let's just have one simple long-term trend line on here. So if I'm looking at these trend lines, gold could still have a bit of a short-term pullback down towards this trend line, which is only $1,700. It's only about a $100 drop. Now, I know some people freak out about that, but the whole thing I'm talking to you about, guys, if you are in a situation where you're freaking out about gold, this will give you a bit of a gauge, right? Now, I would be worried in my long-term investment in gold if we saw something like this. Makes sense? And so, and once again, guys, on my weekly coaching session, in my coaching program, every single week, I do a live coaching session where I talk about my trades, I talk about the markets, and then I give you a chance to turn your microphone on and we have a one-on-one chat. That's in that coaching program with the link below, 90% off that I'm running today. And I remember it was just recently, I was talking to my coaching clients about this, and it was such an eye-opener for them because I'm just like, we have so much noise out there about what's happening in the markets. So if we just bring it back to something simple as this, we can see what's going on. And as you can see, we're still having a very slow pullback overall on this weekly charts. Make sense? So if we're looking at this here, that's where long-term for gold, guys, is still massively bullish. And the people that are patient, now I've had to be a lot more patient than I originally thought. I really thought that, that it would happen probably a few months ago. I really thought that it was actually going to happen in December last year, since we had this, if I go back to the daily charts here, so when we had this nice move up, I'm like, oh, maybe, just maybe we're about to start to see this thing start to move up. And it didn't. I was wrong. And it continued down. And so I do see, once again, even if we do have a bit of a pullback, guys, we're probably likely to pull back towards this trend line. Now, if that did happen, that would be a major buy opportunity. Major buy opportunity. Makes sense? So that's what's happening there when it comes to gold, guys. So when it comes to gold, is a game over? And the answer is no, it's definitely not game over. I believe the game is just getting started. And if you look at any investment out there, patience is such a big key, especially in this environment right now where we're at. People are definitely FOMOing into the cryptocurrencies right now, and it may continue up, it may not. For me personally, I love to jump on things that haven't made big moves yet, because we're likely to make that big move when it comes to gold. Now, moving up through to silver. Silver is a lot stronger. Look what silver's doing. Let's apply the same analysis. We have a low, we have a higher low, or an equal low. Then we have, look at this here, higher low, and we're starting to push up. So we're starting to really get a lot of strength out of silver, more than we are with gold. So, and anyway, guys, and I promised at the start of this video that I would share with you the one indice that I really like, and that's the GDXJ. If you've been watching me for a while, you would know that. But if you are brand new, welcome. One of the biggest markets that I'm really excited about is the GDXJ itself. I don't know when, we're still getting a very sort of a weak pullback here overall on this weekly chart, as you can see by looking at this big picture. But I'm very excited about the long-term view, and once GDXJ starts to get heated up, I see really big hockey stick action. Now, I say that it may be next year, guys, that we actually start to see that. It may take another 6 months for this thing to really start to find a bit of a bottom and start to move up and start to see it go. But once it goes, I believe we're going to start to see some Bitcoin type of action in the GDXJ. It's really setting up that way, guys, and I'm really excited about it. I don't know why it's setting up that way, but the number one market that I'm so excited about is the GDXJ long term. And so if you're looking to invest into something, I can't recommend anything. I'm not going to tell you what to do, because obviously there's no guarantees of making money in any investment. So you should always have some sort of risk management, or you should always have risk management in place. But the one market that I'm so excited about long term from now through to 2025 is the GDXJ. Now, why do I say 2025? Because I don't know, guys. No one knows when it's going to happen. I'm just confident that it is going to happen. And what I mean by that is this. I'm confident that we're going to see a massive hockey stick move back up to 160 in the GDXJ. That may start in 2022. I don't know. It may start in 2023. Maybe 2023 is that massive move that we've been waiting for in gold and silver. I don't know. All I do know is that what I've learned from the last 16 years of being involved with the markets is that when I see big patterns like this, my job is just to be involved in it, sit back, relax, and just know when the train starts, I'm already in it. All aboard, let's go.